Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a health mystery that honestly affects millions of us. It's this hidden link between two really frustrating problems, a connection that starts with something as simple as our breath and can impact our entire lives. Okay, let's get right into it. So, let me ask you something. Do you ever deal with jaw pain? Maybe you clench your jaw, get headaches, or maybe you just can't seem to get a good night's sleep. You feel tired all the time, no matter what you do? Well, what if I told you those aren't separate issues? What if they're just different symptoms of the exact same root problem? You know how it usually works, right? You go to a doctor or a dentist, and these problems get put into totally separate boxes. Jaw pain and clenching, that's TMD, that's a dental problem. Snoring and being tired all the time, well, that's a sleep problem. So you get sent off to different specialists, and they each try to treat their little piece of the puzzle totally isolated from each other. But here's where things get really interesting. The source material for this explainer says that whole approach, it's just wrong. It makes this critical point. Symptoms are not the actual disease. They're just the warning signs, Like that little red light that flashes on your car's dashboard. And you wouldn't just put a piece of black tape over that light and call it fixed, would you? Of course not. In this analogy, it's perfect. Treating the symptom, the jaw pain, the snoring, without ever touching the root cause, that's exactly like taking a crashed car and giving it a brand new paint job while the frame is still completely bent out of shape. Sure, it might look a little better on the outside, but the car itself is still fundamentally broken. So this begs a huge question. If just treating the symptoms doesn't work, what if we've been looking for the answer in all the wrong places? What if the real cause and the real solution is somewhere we've never even been taught to look? And this right here, this is the critical shift in thinking we need to make. We've always heard the term sleep-disordered breathing, but what if we've had it backward? What if the real problem is breathing-disordered sleep? Now I know, it sounds like we're just flipping a couple of words around. But trust me, the difference in meaning is absolutely massive. So what does that actually mean? Well, breathing-disordered sleep tells us the problem doesn't start at night. It's not a sleep disease at all. It's a daytime problem with how you function. Your sleep isn't the cause of the issue. It's the victim of bad breathing habits that you're carrying around 24/7. Let's put it even more simply. Your body is struggling to breathe right all day long. When you're awake, you can kind of compensate for it. But at night, when your muscles relax, all those little compensations just fail. And your body literally has to wake you up just to keep you breathing, to keep you alive. People don't wake up because they can't sleep. They wake up because they can't breathe. So, how do we find that true cause? To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look below the surface. The source gives us this fantastic way to visualize what's going on. It's called the jawberg. Okay, look at this. This is so powerful. What we see, the jaw pain, the grinding, the snoring, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's the part that's visible. But the real story, the massive hidden part of the problem, is what's under the water. We're talking about things like poor tongue posture, chronic mouth breathing, even jaws that are too narrow, all leading to a restricted airway. These are the deep structural root causes that are so often missed. I know this can all feel a little abstract, so let's make it real. Let's ground it in the powerful story of a woman named Melody, whose life is a perfect, and I mean perfect, example of this hidden connection. Melody's story starts when she's just an infant. She had a hidden tongue tie. Now, it wasn't so bad that she couldn't eat, but it was just enough to prevent her tongue from resting in the right spot, and that silently changed how her face and jaws grew. Fast forward to her teenage years, and boom, crowded teeth, painful braces, and a restricted airway. By the time she's an adult, it's a full-blown crisis. Terrible jaw pain, chronic neck and back issues, and serious breathing problems. It was a lifetime of what looked like separate issues, all stemming from that one tiny, overlooked problem at birth. And you can just feel the sheer frustration in her own words. She said, "I felt broken." Think about that. Specialist after specialist treated just one symptom, her jaw, her sinuses, her back, but nobody zoomed out to see the whole picture. No one could find that single thread connecting it all. Melody's story really brings us to the core message here. Our body is not a collection of parts in separate boxes. It's one single, deeply integrated system. You know, the old song, "The foot bone's connected to the ankle bone." Well, it's the same idea. Your tongue posture is connected to your airway, which is connected to your sleep, which is connected to your overall health. It's all one thing. So when you think about it that way, a true solution has to be a whole body solution. It means we have to stop just managing symptoms and start preventing them by going after the root cause. That means we have to look at development, at posture, and especially at the way we breathe, not just at night, but all day long. It's about getting the body back to its natural balance. In this whole new way of thinking, it really challenges us to rethink, well, everything we thought we knew about health and even dentistry. It leaves us with one final, really provocative question we need to ask ourselves. So what's the big takeaway from all this? The source is really urging us to look beyond the immediate problem. Whether you're looking at a crooked tooth, a sore jaw, or a terrible night's sleep, the real question is always the same. Are we just treating the tooth, or are we treating the person attached to the tooth? Finding the real answer starts right there. Thanks for joining The Explainer.